Hello, and welcome to our first Energy Chat. Cornell Cooperative Extension of Delaware County is pleased to be hosting Energy Navigator Gerri Wiley. Gerri is a past public health nurse and nutritionist who provides monthly updates on subscription solar and 100% renewable electricity ESCOs in New York State. I'm Val Dudley from CCE Delaware. I'm a community energy advisor for the Community Energy Engagement Program. CCE is partnering with NYSERDA to educate local residents about energy upgrades that save money and increase home comfort. I'd like to introduce Gerri to talk about greening your electricity. Thank you for joining us today, Gerri.
Thank you so much, Valerie. I'm very happy to join you and everybody as you start your energy chat series here in Delaware County. And so without further ado, let me just share my slides.
Great, I see them.
Wonderful. Okay. So we're still good, Valerie?
Yep.
Okay. So often I'm asked as an energy navigator, what can I do to make a positive difference? I find that people tend to be very generous and service oriented. So it's so thrilling to give people the opportunity to serve others by navigating their own energy choices, because our choices can be a win both for ourselves and a win for our community and the earth at the same time. So let's begin with this core. I want to begin with a simple framework of understanding, which is shown by this cornhole game, or bean toss as I would call it, with the decarbonization process. So the whole idea is we need to extract the carbon from the atmosphere and get it back in the ground, and at the very minimum not keep sending it up into the atmosphere. That affects our pollution, it affects climate. So we want that air to be clean, and the water we drink to be clean, and the food we eat to be clean for our health. So even before these three steps that I show under solid plans on the left, there's another step that starts before that, and that's with your home or business energy assessment. And that is absolutely, for the home, that's absolutely free for you to do. And I invite you to contact Valerie to learn how you can sign up for a free energy assessment. And the companies do a very good job with that. Then the next step, or the actual first step then that I have on here, is insulation and sealing your home. The second is electrifying your home, and the third is powering it renewably. Now these may be foreign to you, but this is the direction New York State and the rest of the world hopefully is going in order to clean up the air and our atmosphere and foster our health. And so if you do these steps out of order, I have a whole other energy chat on this. If you do these steps out of order, it results in some problems like paying too much for your heat pump system when you electrify your hot air, your space heating, in your water heating. You pay too much for it if you haven't tightened your envelope first, and you end up not having enough. If you put your solar, some of you may already know this, if you put solar power on your roof, panels on your roof, and then electrify, you won't have enough panels on your roof. So there's a reason for this order. And so that's the solid plans, which we can talk about at another time. But today we're focusing on flexible plans, things we can do, whether we're remodeling, whether we're building a home, whether we live in an apartment, and don't plan to do any remodeling, these flexible plans, we can do subscription community solar and renewable electricity ESCO, which is an energy service company, and most people can do both of these. Now, coming from the framework of so many people, you know, how can we navigate our way to a green electricity supply? It just seems to be daunting, so confusing, because we have energy company reps at our door, and they may look just like our son, so cute, and they're going through college, and they need money to pay for it, and we really want to say yes, but we shouldn't say yes. We should say, oh, can I offer you another job, because this one is not not one that is worth much. They're usually working for companies, they don't realize it themselves, that are trying to misrepresent the deal that you get. So I would say no thank you to this. You may get flyers in your mailboxes, and I know you've gotten a lot of these. Many people say, I get so many flyers, I don't know, you know, which direction to go in with these. Then you might say, okay, I want an energy supplier other than NYSEG, but so I'm going to ask my utility, hey, send me a list of ESCOs. Well, look at this list. They might send you, it's a list of phone numbers, companies with their phone numbers. It doesn't tell you anything about the type of supply it's giving you. It could be coal. We just don't even know until we call all these numbers. And like, who is going to, if each and every one of us call all these numbers, what a waste of time that would be. And that's why where I come in, I try to make this easy for people. Okay, so what source of energy do we use? If you're signed up with NYSEG, your utility, what source of power are you really voting for? Voting for? And you'll see this chart starts at the top at 2018. It started in 2006. The reason we don't see 2019 on here is because these figures have to be verified by the public service, by NYSERDA actually, and the 2019 figures will not be ready until fall of 2020. So, but you'll see they don't change that much. So they'll be about the same as you see now, and you'll see natural gas 41%, and that's a high percentage. That's methane that we're sending into the atmosphere through all kinds of leaks and so forth in the process of everywhere from drilling to distribution and so forth. And if we're going to decarbonize, we need to markedly reduce that. You'll see renewables is less than 19%, down from a high in 2009 of about 29%. So we seem to be going in the wrong direction in terms of what the utility is purchasing on our behalf. So what are we going to do about that? Okay, so here you see on this slide, we need to go from about 18% renewables to 70% in 10 years by 2030. And how is that even possible? Well, you might say that the Climate Leadership and Community Protection Act and the Climate Action Council, well, they're working on it. The Climate Action Council has 2 meetings now under their belts, and they're working on this, and we're very dependent on that. But quite frankly, it's a 3-year process, and we only have 10 to get to 70% renewables, and we can't do it without their guidance and the state law that has been codified to make this happen, and they can't do it without us and our willingness and our push to give them a hand and a little people power behind it. Okay, so we can speed up the greening of the grid, and how can we help? What are the ways that we can help as of today? Well, there are 2 ways. We can subscribe to a community solar program, and we can, in many cases, we can do both of these, buy 100% renewable electricity from an ESCO instead of accepting NYSEG's standard grid default supply mix. NYSEG really doesn't care that you do this. They will not stop fixing your wires and serving you because you've defected from their supply. That's totally independent from their role as in bringing you electricity, and they're just as happy that you go and find an energy service company of your own, and also a community solar program. So I want to, for those of you in Delaware County, I want to show you the New York Independent Systems Operator zoning system, and the fact that you in Delaware County, you'll see, are located right about that, above that letter E, and you indeed are in Zone E. And so that gives you opportunities of certain kinds that you don't have if you live in one of the other zones. Even there are opportunities everywhere, but these are exclusively for Zone E where you are. You also are probably in NYSEG service area. You see to the right of Binghamton there in Delaware County. Except if you are one of about 1,700 members of the Delaware County Electricity Co-op, in which case the following things I'm going to tell you don't really apply to you. But what you have instead is marvelous too, because you have about 90% hydropower. So you can't go too wrong with that either. So just know, for your friends who are in the NYSEG territory, they can do this other thing, and you can share this information with them, so you can be more powerful in your work toward greening the grid. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the subscription community solar in this zone, and the two, my job is vetting these various companies, both on customer service and on availability. Okay, so at this point in time, there are at least two vetted companies that have subscription solar right here in Delaware County, and that's Delaware River Solar and Solar Farms New York. And I'm sure you've gotten pamphlets, flyers from Solar Farms New York. They love to inform you. Maybe it's a little overkill. You get phone calls, you see them everywhere. And sometimes that's a mark of a poor company, that they have to advertise so much. But I think in the case of Solar Farms, it's that they have quite a few farms that they need to fill. That is, I'll give them that excuse anyway. So it's easy, just go right online and sign up. If you have questions, I'm always here to help you with these questions. In fact, I really relish, talking with you individually, because you each have a different situation. You each have different starting points of your learning process. You have different needs. So I am extremely happy to talk with you by phone or by email, and we'll be showing our contact information, and Valerie and I, at the end of this presentation. So I meant to mention that with subscription community solar, if you have your own solar panels that you purchased on your own property, or on in a solar farm like Renewables, I know, has solar farms where you can actually purchase the panels, then you cannot sign up for subscription solar, because the two don't mix in New York State. However, and also if you're part of that co-op that I was talking about, the Delaware County Electricity Co-op, then you can't do this. But otherwise, this is great. And you not only get to know that you've totally greened your bill, but you have the opportunity to get money back. In some cases 5%, some cases 10%. I have some deals that are even more than that. I'm not as pleased with the customer service on some of the others, but I can talk with you personally, and maybe that would be the choice that's right for you. The other way is 100% renewable electricity ESCO, Energy Service Company being the what ESCO stands for. And here you see in the brown is the NYSEG default, what you may be receiving right now if you sign up for an ESCO. My only recommended ESCO at this particular time, due to price and customer service, is the Energy Co-op of America. I would love to have 4, as I did 6 months ago, but for various reasons, they have not met the challenge of my chart. So at this point in time, it's Energy Co-op of America. I will say that for businesses, you can call me and find out. Energy Co-op of America is also willing to do a fixed rate for businesses depending on your business classification. So that's another thing you can learn about. This is just a starting point for many of you in this discussion. So I want to show you how dramatically you can actually change the grid. Look at this. On the left is the NYSEG standard grid mix. Look at the emissions at the bottom of sulfur dioxide, nitrogen oxide, carbon dioxide, and in the future there's going to be methane on there as well, natural gas, because that's a huge contributor to both pollution and climate change. So on the right, you see Energy Co-op of America, and like some other green ESCOs, there's 0 sulfur dioxide, nitrogen oxide, carbon dioxide going in, and that would include methane when they add that next year, because there's 0 greenhouse gas emissions. So, and you can do this for a fraction of a cent more than you're paying now. So with community solar, you're saving money. With an ESCO, you're paying slightly more than the utility. So altogether, it's often pretty much a wash. You're greening the grid, and you don't have to pay to do it. So that's pretty much all I want to cover today, to not make it more complex than it is. And I want to call your attention to our contact information. And I want to thank Valerie again for giving me this opportunity to talk with you today. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, Gerri. This has been so helpful. I admit that I get confused by these, all the choices and all the numbers, and this was really clarifying. Thank you. And I just wanted to mention that we're going to be posting the PowerPoint on our website at ccedelaware.org on the Smart Energy Choices page. And we're also going to be uploading this video, and there'll be a link to that on our website in case you came in late or you wanted to show it to somebody else. But, and then you can contact Gerri with any questions about, specifically about ESCOs and subscription solar. And I have information about subscription solar and weatherization and renewable heat that I can help you navigate that. But thank you so much, Gerri. Really appreciate it.
You're so welcome. My pleasure.
Have a great
day.
Bye.
Bye.